Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today I'm making a fall sign using some Dollar Tree items. So I've got this sign here that actually had another sign on it that said Harvest Blessings, which I took that part off, used it in a different project. And I'm going to cover this remaining sign with some paper. It actually has like a watercolor texture to it, but just a neutral creamy peach color paper. I'm attaching it with some Mod Podge, which I put generously on the bottom there. Laid my paper down, and now I'm going to cover it with some Mod Podge to kind of give it a clean, finished, glossy look to it. So I'm going to go ahead and cover that, let it dry. While that's drying, I've got some styrofoam pumpkins that I'm going to cut in half. And I had these pumpkins actually from another project that I had sitting around, so I just wanted to make sure I use everything up. And I'm going to take each pumpkin half. I ended up just using 4 of the pumpkin halves. And I really want to glam it up, so I've got some sparkly tulle. You can't quite see the sparkle on the camera there, but some sparkly tulle. I'm going to cover it with some twine, and I'm going to go down each ridge of the pumpkin, kind of accentuating the grooves in it so it stands out more. Since there were smaller pumpkins, I needed to kind of get creative with some thin ribbons, so I braided 3 pieces together, give it a different texture. Something happened with my film and it glitched out there, but I also covered another pumpkin with some tulle that had leaves on it, and I put raffia down each little divide of the pumpkin, and I'm using the back side of the leaf tulle for another pumpkin. So all 4 pumpkins have different designs on them, but similar colors, similar styles. So I trimmed up the edge of the paper once it was dry, kind of sanded it down a little bit, make the edges nice and neat. I'm going to glue each pumpkin down. I just have them cascading, and then I just laid on the flowers. I decided to kind of go crazy with this one. Ribbons, bright yellows. I tried to keep it in some kind of fall tones, but it got a little away from me there. So I've got some greens, some eucalyptus went in there, little doodads I had sitting around. I kind of went heavy on the flowers, so there's a lot going on here. And then once that was all done, I actually did add some white to it to brighten it up, some white flowers that I had sitting around too. But I wanted to add the letters fall, so F-A-L-L, just hot glued on, kind of cascading along with the pumpkins there. If I had to do this differently, I probably would have made the letters darker. They got a little bit lost in all the design. There's a lot going on this sign. Kind of makes it fun though. But I probably would have gone with like a black or a deep burgundy color. I just hot glued them on each letter there. And then once that was all done, I kind of looked at it and I realized there's a bit of a space off to the side, so I thought I'd put a bow. I took this kind of burlappy bow and I just doubled it over. I don't know if that's an actual technique or not, but I really like how it rolls at the end. And I just pinched it in the center and tied it off with another piece of twine there. I try to keep the edges of the burlap hidden so they're not going to snag or shred. And then I just hot glued it onto the side. But looking at it, it didn't really have a middle, so I put kind of a greenish color little leaf right in the center of the bow to give it more of a finished look. And then I added a ribbon to the top so I could hang it from my door. And there's the fall sign. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.